These are your Central Florida real estate numbers that for April, but cover technically till the end of March. And really been interested to see these numbers because of the lack of supply. We're going to look at what's going on with appreciation, with inventory, and how that's likely to play out, at least what the data shows right now as the year goes on. So looking right here, let's start right with the inventory. We have 5,052 homes on the market. Last year at this time, we had 2,478. So that's a double. But this is the part that's most interesting. We have 5,555 homes. Wow, 5555 in February. And now inventory has dropped almost 500 houses, meaning why our prices been stable even though rates were so high and demand was low is because there's no inventory based on the amount of people that want to buy even with higher rates. And now you have rates falling. Median price here, look at this. I thought this was really interesting. In March of last year, it was 361,000. March of this year, it's 365. And if you look from February to March, it went from 358 to 365. So it went up a little bit. But again, showing that stable market. And this is really the crazy thing. We have 1.72 homes on the market. And, last year there was 0.60. But look at this. From February, we were starting to go up a little bit on inventory. And now we're down to 1.72 months. That means by every definition, it is still a seller's market. Let's look at the comparison here for the comparison of really the numbers so you can kind of see them on the graph here. So if you look right here, we're just going to go down the line here. This is the 5,052 homes. There were only 3,769 single family homes on the market. Out of that 5,052, there was an additional 827 condos and 456 townhomes. Now, we did have new listings go up from 2,820 to 3,442. But if you look at last year at this time, we had 4,375 homes on the market and rates were 4.2%. So we did have a little bump in inventory. But again, demand going up, new contracts went up, listings not keeping pace. Sales closed 2,936. So sales went up. You can look back here in January, we're at 1,674 sales. I said I thought that would be the bottom as far as the bottom of demand, meaning we'd had so much limited demand because of higher rates, and I thought that would print the bottom and we would start to move up from there. And so far that's true. We'll see how the rest of the year goes on. Days on market, still about 2 months. So again, kind of summarize, no big surprise. Lack of inventory, still really making it an imbalanced market where it's more in favor of sellers. Now, that being said, first-time homebuyers are getting offers accepted. It's not as crazy as competitive. People aren't paying way over asking price, at least not at this point. And so as rates continue to fall, if you look right here, you can see that March of 2022, rates were 4.2%. They peaked in October of 22 at 6.95. This says 6.7 for March, but really rates have actually continued to fall, and we're closer to like the 6.5% range. And I really believe by the end of the year we will be under 6% for rates and closer to 5.5%, which and the business is a great thing because that creates more demand. But as far as staying in an imbalanced market, I think you're going to have more of the same because lower rates are going to push more people back in the market and it's going to create more competition. Last thing here, I thought this chart was interesting. If you look at median sales price for the United States, so you can see this big jump up, obviously, that we all know about. But look at median kind of dropping off of a cliff here nationally, because remember, all markets are local and there are lots of markets, especially in California, New York, and certain places where the median price has fell 5-10% or even more in some areas. Now look at Florida though. So this is a breakdown of Redfin from the Florida market. You can see this run up and look how it just flattened out. Everybody is coming to Florida, wanting to move to Florida. I did this Orlando directly for Central Florida. And again, you can see this bump up in median price. And again, this flattening out of the average median price. And I thought this was cool as far as a chart goes. Look at this. How many people are moving into Florida? It's one of the top locations, and Central Florida also being one of the top areas that people are moving into. So great thing. If you own a home in Central Florida, it's a great place to own. If you're trying to buy a home in Central Florida, it is more competitive. I think this is a small window right now to still buy in a little bit of a less competitive market, but as rates continue to fall, that's most likely to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, as I always say, but that is what the data shows. Then that's going to create more and more competition. So again, good news, we're going to watch the data as it comes out throughout the year. We're going to see what magic rate would get sellers to put their homes on the market. I've said it's around 5% because at that point there's so much pent up supply. People have all this equity, and then we're going to eventually start using it to get a bigger home, get a pool, an extra bedroom, and all those kinds of things. Now, one thing to consider doing with that equity, and I'm doing this more and more, is actually taking that equity and buying investment property, especially here in Central Florida, where homes are likely to continue to appreciate over the long term, and rents are staying fairly high. Anyways, that's the current data for April that covers to the end of March. If you have any questions on that or anything else, reach out to me. I'd love to help. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great rest of the year. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.